Hi, this is Ross Silver from Silva International, and I'm joined again by Peter Bortel, who joined us a couple months ago with an incredible stock idea, that being Health Innovations, ticker HIIQ. The stock was $4 at the time we spoke with Mr. Bortel, and since then has moved up to $16. And so we're here today to talk about another company, that being Sologenics. So, Mr. Bortel, thank you so much for taking the time today to speak with us.
Problem. I met with Sologenics a couple years ago, and I was very impressed. We met down in San Francisco, and it's not often you find a biotech investment with this much of a binary outcome, where the risk on the downside is very limited, and the upside potential was multiple X where the stock was trading.
So just coming, maybe drilling in to get a little more granular on Sologenics, what was it that you found so compelling with Sologenics when you were first introduced to the company?
What I found to be the most compelling, Ross, was their therapeutic pipeline. Their lead compound for CTCL seems like it has a great chance of approval, and the market potential for that is over 100 million. They should be really the only show in town for that solving that problem, meaning there really is only one treatment option, and they have it. Nobody else does. There's also a massive opportunity for psoriasis. Should CTCL be approved, psoriasis is of course a multi-billion-dollar market. So solving that problem is very important.
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate that. And then another question I have for you is the company's now listed on NASDAQ, has over $8 million in cash in the bank per their last filing, has late-stage assets, a government-funded vaccine division. What do you believe to be the value of Sologenics today?
Well, I mean, there's some estimates out there. I know Zacks, Grant has an estimate at Zacks at 16. I would say somewhere between 100 and 200 million in market cap would be a fair valuation, and that's got to be about 7 or 8x where the stock is today. So really, with their pipeline, and we just touched on the pipeline, they do have a second compound which I can touch on regarding 942, and it seems to me that the company could have a serious treatment option on their hands worth in excess of 100 million today, which puts their share price near 10. So if we look at their primary compound for psoriasis and their second compound for oral mucositis, $10 is a very fair price. I think the company was trading at about 2.5 today. The company's stated that there's been considerable interest from business development community regarding the compound, and based on how compelling the phase 2 data was, it's easy to see why. Lastly, they've got a vaccine division, which they don't talk about much, but really is a cash cow for the company. It's been able to receive government approvals and grants totaling approximately 60 million. I could see a scenario where one of the companies they're partnered with, like an emergent EBS that's nearly about 1.2 billion in market cap, decides to buy and say the ricin toxin vaccine, the ricin toxin vaccine. They're collaborating with Sologenics. If they were to purchase that, Sologenics would have plenty of money to continue the psoriasis trials.
Yeah, no questions.
Yeah, they've just got a lot of shots on goal, Ross. That's the important part here, and I think your downside with 8 million in capital where it's trading now is pretty limited.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, the CTCL is definitely the phase 3 asset, and also has the ability to go outside of CTCL, which is cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, and then also treat the psoriasis market, which, as you mentioned, is in the billions. So, so final question for you is, for those watching this and learning about Sologenics for the first time, or others who are currently shareholders, how would you rate the 3 categories that we focus on when evaluating an investment? And those 3 categories are the quality of management, the disruptive nature of the products in the pipeline, in development, and also the cleanliness of the cap structure. How would they grade in sort of your estimation?
Well, it's a very experienced management team. As I've said, I've met face-to-face with management many times. We've spoken on the phone many times. You don't often find a biotech management that has this many years of historic performance, And while their balance sheet has been troubled at times, currently it's well funded for several years of continued studies. I think at some point this year their phase 3 data comes out, and we really see where the company's going in the future. So right now you've got somewhat of a, as I said, a binary investment with a ton of upside and just limited downside. When we're looking for a new investment, we're always approaching it like this. You know, what is our downside risk? What is our upside return? And when I find something that's 3 or 4 to 1 upside versus downside, we'll typically make the investment. This is probably 2x that.
Got it. Well, Mr. Bortel, thank you so much for joining us today. And for additional information on Sologenics, you can visit our website, which is www.silvacap.com. And hopefully we have a similar amount of success with Sologenics as you had with HIIQ, which was unbelievable. I know a lot of viewers were raving about that and asking when the next time you'd be on. So thank you so much for your generosity in coming on.
You're welcome. And we still own the HIQ, and we've been adding to it even at this price.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bortel.